Hi, let me tell you why we established CRISP, which stands for Center for Research and Innovation Law for Shared Prosperity. As you know, BITS Law School is a new age law school which is future oriented, and we are wanting to produce high quality lawyers and thinkers that can contribute to legal fraternity, to development of law, our legal architecture, and to advance cutting edge research and scholarship. At the Center for Research for Innovation Law for Shared Prosperity, or CRISP, we want to bring crisp ideas into the public foray. We want to advance the knowledge and curiosity about these new technologies. They could be in the frontiers of communication, 5G, 6G, automation, robotics, smart vehicles, smart devices, and so on. Within CRISP, we have a very new initiative called Innovation Law and Policy Fellowship. Under this fellowship, we invite select practitioners, early stage scholars, and even experts to join us in ideation and in thinking about new ideas within the purview of technology innovation, the legality of it, the policy dimension of it, and the regulatory aspects of it.
It's a huge challenge for law to keep pace with the innovation and the growth in technology. The times we were living in, there's a constant change in technology. New technologies coming up at a very rapid, fast pace, and it's very challenging for law and for judiciary to keep pace with these changes. I think do a thorough job, get the global perspectives, see the industries, not just the legal precedents and the judgments from all over, but also see the industry practices, study the economic realities in India which prevail, and see it objectively from the perspective of a implementer as well as a licensor. So I think it should be an interesting research, though it be a challenging research. I think it's an excellent idea. It's an excellent approach. We must encourage fellowships like these, which can really contribute to the research material available both for policy purposes in the government and as a useful reference material for judiciary in cases involving FRAND litigation, SEP litigation.
You see, when we talk about ICT and law, there are two challenges that I believe are facing the country at the moment. The first one is exposure.
So I think the major challenge, and I think what you observed was there's a lack of education on the aspect. So there's not much understanding on what the legal aspects are and how those gel with the technology aspects.
One is that we need to have clarity regarding the patenting of software, because a law is a software per se cannot be patented. But we need to look at the definitions of technical effect and technical contribution, because the jurisprudence in this line is that if you are making a technical effect and technical contribution, then you have crossed the threshold of a software per se and you become patent eligible.
So my advice would be, talk to the experts. There are so many people out there who have decades-long experience, who really know what they're doing.
read a lot, because you need to read and I think there's enough jurisprudence available within India as well as outside India.
One thing I really liked about the kind of fellows you have over here, the emphasis on empirical research. We need empirical research. We need comparative research. And as I said therein, that they have to be value neutral and ask a lot of questions.
I believe these kind of initiatives definitely add a lot of value to what early career researchers are looking for. And reiterating my earlier point regarding exposure, I think that is exactly what this policy fellowship would provide these early career researchers, with all the experts coming together, offering their valuable inputs, and also, giving a sense of what exactly the problems are, what exactly the issues are at this point in time facing the ICT sector or the IoT ecosystem, and how some of these issues can be tackled, of course, through academic scholarship and also through academia industry interaction. I believe law schools have the potential to facilitate this dialogue, and this policy fellowship is one such step in that direction, whereby different stakeholders have come together, whether it is academia, industry, early career researchers, so on and so forth.
So I think it's a great initiative, because when Ashish told me, I think I was quite happy that someone is doing something like this thing. Have taken an initiative to do something on the and it helps with the education part, which I emphasized on in my first answer.
Also, I think that ease of access to these many people and the kind of resources that you are providing, that's a huge boost. So this kind of collaborative research where they can freely ask us questions, approach us, great idea.
So I think this fellowship program at your law school is a fantastic way to bring together the expertise and the experience and have that then further percolate into the market.
BITS has given a great platform in terms of helping us interact with the experts, be it patent attorneys, be it people, working very closely in the SCP world, and even judges, right, who have gone ahead and worked in terms of, what could be royalty rates for the Indian SCP jurisprudence. So I think it's very timely that this fellowship has occurred. And
I think the BITS Law School has provided an excellent opportunity, and they've done very well by, bringing policymakers, academicians, and litigators together. I noticed there were quite a few litigators today, and that is what confirms that my application to this fellowship was the right decision, because they're not just looking for academic knowledge on the subject. And I'm also not looking to do an academic, purely theoretical paper. What I'm actually looking to do is provide a little insight on how the evidentiary rules work, how the civil procedural rules work. And this blends my interest in academia and at the same time as a practitioner.
And now with this fellowship, I really want to explore some pinpointed issues. It would be like a deep dive into certain areas which I kind of brushed through in my PhD journey. So as to say, or while writing few the papers. Now I want to kind of explore some pinpointed issues and see how we can benefit from the regime and look into the Indian perspective with respect to SCP and the licensing system.
This fellowship was interesting to me because it was the first of the kind that I found was open for practitioners and technical persons as well, and not just academics, academicians who are taking up scholarly research. And I believe that brings 2-3 levels of perspectives from various areas, which I've not seen before.
So one thing is like whenever we pursue any research, so we look at the impact of that research. Where does it actually contribute to? this was the first motivation?
Majorly, though I'm from a pure science, natural science background, I still found a major gap in the patent, especially in the IPR commercialization and monetization, be it valuation, licensing, portfolio. So these are the main thematic areas which motivated me to get into this field.
What intrigued me with respect to this fellowship is that they are providing me the innovation policy and to put forth our thoughts with respect to its
experts today, I believe that we are in such a diverse sort of sector, especially looking at the Indian ecosystem, the ICT Indian ecosystem. There cannot be a one size fits all, right?
Today's meeting, this conference, helped me to think about many aspects which I had not thought about earlier. And here you are bringing multiple stakeholders holding almost contradictory views. So this gives you that variety, that melange of different views. Actually, help me to get a better perspective on the topic that I am writing about.
He actually pointed me towards 3 papers, including one by a Nobel laureate, I think Oliver Williamson, if I'm not mistaken. And he asked me to read them, and I think, and that's what I'm going to do. Instead of going back to the research on court cases as I was planning on doing, I will actually go back and start there for a theoretical understanding of how I think that will be very helpful.
So definitely, looking at certain expert presentations, I realized I can enhance my arguments through certain discussions that took place. So when you are not even dealing with a particular subject matter, but you realize those insights when they come, how your particular interest area also gets affected.
And I got the perspective that why maybe businesses do not want to provide their commercial information because their confidentiality is also at stake. I got to know that IP is not just a legal or a technical concept. As a whole, IP is purely an asset.
So now he told me to restrict only to startups and focus only on startups and don't keep it broad because you don't have that much time. So you condense the matter and produce a good output. But when the experts from the technical field put forth their thoughts with respect to the FRAN terms, with respect to the essential patenting, what are the license, what are the needs of it, and how they are doing it with respect to the technological aspect. So give me the other perspective with respect to it, like it's not always about the law,